Hey, what's up, guys? Eyes open in California here. I wanted to video log this dream I had last night. Okay, so I'm going to start off first and foremost by saying I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't watch TV, I don't watch movies, I don't allow too many influences into. I don't. I try to keep my mind as sharp as I can, reading only scriptures, watching only videos on prophetic words. Uh, I watch a few rapture dreams, but not very many because I mean, at this point, rapture is imminent. Ain't no sense watching the different scenarios. It's going to happen, right? But the point of what I'm trying to say is there is not very many um, outside influences that get into my head. Okay, there's really not. I don't watch movies. I don't watch TV. Um, so let's just get to the dream. In my dream, I'm in a different country. I'm in an Asian country, and somehow I think it's China, right? I'm in some. I could be mistaken. Um, I never did see any flag. I never did see anything. It was just from that region, and I I'm not trying to make a generalization saying all the countries are the same. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I'm not. I can't make a definitive um, judgment as to which country that was. I cannot. It's somewhere around the China area. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. So it's nighttime, and I'm on a street, and for some reason I'm by myself, and I am. Almost seems like I am on a mission, and I'm trying to be hidden, moving from shadow to shadow, and I'm looking at something like I'm surveilling something, right, on some sort of a recon mission. So there's a team of Asian women, and I want to say they were Chinese. I'm telling you, I want to say they were Chinese. Um, and when this squad-sized unit passes by me, the leader and I look at each other, and for some reason, she knows that I don't belong, and I know that she's bad. And I said to myself, "That woman looks like trouble." So next scene, the next scene is we're at a banquet, and there's a lot of us, like a lot, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of us. Like I'll get to the importance of this in a little bit. So we're at this banquet that was thrown on by this foreign government that had invited us over to eat at the banquet, and it was spaghetti. But spaghetti wasn't given to me until the end of the dream. But I'll just say it now: it was spaghetti. It was a spaghetti banquet dinner, some kind of like a peace offering dinner, if you will. And I did not eat it. I did trust the situation. So everybody else is eating and have a good time, and uh, there was like intermingling of this military's personnel and this one. So that was when it was given to me that it was Navy personnel, right? So they're mingling and having a good time, and everybody's friends with everybody. And I'm just looking around at how everybody's interacting, and I'm like, something's wrong. This is wrong. Those people right there are phony. Those are fakers. They're faking right now, pretending to be merry and happy with the U.S. Navy uh, seamen, right? So the next scene is it's the next day, and we're on a boat. We're on a big Navy ship, on a big giant vessel of some sort, and everybody's sick, and they're throwing up, and they're throwing up blood. They're not just throwing up throw up, which is sorry I even took your imagination there, but they're throwing up throw up. I mean, they're throwing up blood all over the place, all over the floor, and they're spraying down with a high pressure hose. They're spraying down all that blood into the drain. And I was like thinking to myself, what in the world? We got poisoned, right? So the we'll call it the host government to whatever country we were at. It's in that area though. I'm telling you, it's in that area. It's in the area of the of the east coast of China somewhere, wherever it was, right? I mean, it very well could have been type. I mean, I don't know, somewhere around China, and they're washing down all this grossness, right? And everybody's in the room just sick as a dog, just absolutely sick as a dog. And my roommate is sick as a dog, and I am not sick as a dog. And then the next scene, which is a scene that I find it to be funny. Um, so part of this Navy ship's personnel is Riggs and Murtaugh from Lethal Weapon, right? And if you ever seen a Lethal Weapon movie, I mean, you gotta love those guys, right? So Riggs and Murtaugh are there, and Riggs would be the Mel Gibson character, and Murtaugh was Danny Glover, and Murtaugh had eaten the spaghetti, and he was sick as a dog, but Riggs was healthy because, like me, he was detecting that things weren't as they seemed. So he took off. He grabbed his pistol and he took off to go do some investigative work. And I'm shadowing him because I wasn't going to let him go without a partner. But from a distance, like it wasn't even a close shadow. It was from far, far away, just from a distance, just to make sure that if anything happened, you know, that could help him somehow. So he's on the outside of this compound, and the compound is like the compound to the whoever it was, the high important person that invited us to the banquet dinner. It was that person's compound, and he's sneaking around, and he's looking through a window, and he pulls his pistol out and had a silencer, and he's shooting through the window, and then he takes off running back towards me. He runs right into me, and he was like, "Hey, kid, what are you doing here?" Kid, right? Well, it was a funny detail because I mean, in real life, Mel Gibson is a little bit older than me, you know. So it was a funny detail. And I was like, "Hey, I'm just shadowing you, bro. I didn't want you to be over here by yourself." And it was like, right on. It was like, "Hey, I just was shooting through the window." I said, "Yeah, I know, I saw you." And he goes, I thought there was somebody in there, but there wasn't. There was nobody there. And we were on camera because I seen the camera moving. I was like, "Dude, we got to get out of here." So we took off, right? And the jig is up. They know that we were snooping around, and they know that two detectives are detecting shit. Well, excuse me, two detectives are detecting things. So we go back to the Navy boat, the Navy ship, and people are still sick, right? And when we get there, there's an inspection team that's coming through the ship, and it was their government's inspection team. They had a clipboard, and they were pretending to be concerned, right, for the health of the sailors that were on board that were poisoned. And they have this clipboard, and they're documenting how many people are sick, what rooms they are in, and right before they enter into Riggs and Murtaugh's room, I'm not in their room, but I'm kind of like a fly on the wall in this part, right, like a drone, if you will. And Murtaugh's like, "Hey, did you find anything?" And he's like, "Yeah, I think there's something going on here." So Riggs has the top bunk, and Murtaugh has the bottom bunk. And Riggs is sitting on the top bunk with his feet hanging off the edge of the top bunk, and his feet are flapping around like a kid, just flapping his feet around, right? And he reaches over to his left side, and he picks up a box. It's probably about 7 inches. And he opens up the box, and he pulls out a cheap flashlight, just a cheap constructed plastic flashlight. It's black. It's just it's smooth. There's nothing there's nothing special about the shape of it. It's just a cheap plastic flashlight, as if like very well could have been made in China or made in Taiwan or made in somewhere over there, but it was just a cheapy flashlight, nothing special. It's not a zombie apocalypse 5,000 flashlight. This was not it. This was just a $1 cheapy flashlight you would buy at the dollar store, right? And he pulls it out, and it's sitting right next to him. Then the inspection team goes in his room, and the leading investigative person, the lady with the clipboard, she looks at the flashlight and kind of takes a stutter step for a second. Then she starts talking to him, talking to Murtaugh, asked him how he feels, and he's telling her the symptoms, and she's writing down the room number and all this. Then she asks Riggs, how do you feel? And he's like, oh, I feel great. And he's got that crazy Murtaugh, or that crazy Riggs look on his face, right? Which is freaking hilarious. But he's being facetious, in other words, to her. And she knows that he's being facetious. And she is not impressed in any way, shape, or form. In fact, she's starting to get aggravated. And she starts ripping on him somehow. And then Murtaugh says, that ain't no way to be treating the most decorated soldier we have on the police force. It was funny. That's exactly what he said, right? So Riggs is like waving high at her and just being extra facetious, right? And she knows that he knows, right? So then she goes into my room and finds out that I'm healthy too. And they're spraying all over the place. They're spraying down all the throw up, right? And when she looked at me and I looked at her, she looked at me and she knew that we had seen each other that night out in town, where I said, that one looks like trouble. And she ID'd me and I ID'd her. And that was pretty much the end of the dream. And I just knew that the next day, with the documentation that she had of which room numbers were sick and which ones were not, and this, that, and the other, that was going to be the guide for the assault team. Their version of the SEALs was going to come on board that ship and start, do the math. They weren't going to be handing out Halloween candy, that's for sure. And Halloween, by the way, you shouldn't partake in. That's a pagan holiday. But anyways, that was my dream. It had to do with foreign governments, Navy personnel, spaghetti dinner banquet that poisoned everybody, Riggs and Murtaugh, a black cheapy plastic flashlight, which I have no clue what the significance of that is. And he didn't even turn it on. Didn't even click it to turn the light on. He just sat it next to him. And when she saw it, she knew that the jig was up. And everybody was sick. And yeah, that was it. And 2 days later, the boat was going to be assaulted. So it's a random dream, super random. Have not seen a Lethal Weapon movie in a couple of years. I don't watch movies. I don't like anything affecting my imagination because I need the channel to be open for the Holy Spirit to teach me. And this means something. So bottom line is this. If you are on a Navy ship and you are in some country over there in that region and you get invited to a friendly peace offering spaghetti banquet dinner, don't eat the spaghetti. Right? Just don't do it. So, eyes open, California. Thank you.